All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are breaking down Buccaneers rookie offensive guard Cody Mauch and his performance against the Green Bay Packers. Mauch had an up and down day, but when it mattered most, he stepped up big time for the Tampa Bay Bucs, and we have a great set of cut-ups to highlight just that. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us a comment with any feedback you might have, or if there's another player you want us to break down. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, we're going to open up with a pass rush. There is Monk right there, of course, at right guard, coming right at you, the left side of your screen right there. And you can see the Green Bay Packers have 4 defensive linemen in this situation right here. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have an interesting concept here. They're actually going to slide the protection to the left this way and leave Monk one-on-one on this defensive tackle who's lined up at what I call a 3 technique on the outside shoulder of the guard. This is a tough block because this defensive tackle has what I like to call a 3-way go. He can go around the outside to get pressure on the quarterback. He can go inside via the A gap to get pressure on the quarterback, or he can go right through you to get pressure on the quarterback. This is a tough situation for any guard to be in. Let's see how Mauch handles it. All right, there's a snap. You can see Kenny Clark, the Packers defensive tackle. He decides to go with an outside move. Mauch, you see how he has to settle his feet and just kind of react right there because he's going to prepare himself for either a bull rush right at him or potentially an inside move or an outside move as well. Clark goes to the outside and he has to react. That's why Mauch kind of leans like he does right here. You see how he gets his head and his shoulders over his knees a little bit. That's not an ideal position, but he's a good job with his hands running Clark upfield. And then right here, Clark tries to do an up-under move with his right arm. You can see it. At this point, it looks like Mauch is beat, but watch his recovery. Recovers, stays on him, allows Baker Mayfield to hit Rachaad White for a big play down the field. This is a really nice rep here from the rookie because, again, one-on-one situation, tough block, does a great job. Good use of hands, great recovery, win for the Tampa Bay Bucs offense.
Yeah, Nick, in coming out of college, this guy, master run blocker. He was a road grader, but he was going against lesser competition, so that's something he's going to have to work on. But now in the NFL, so far this year, he has been very good in the pass block game. That has been his bread and butter, and this game is no different. One of his higher grades, a 75.4 pass blocking grade in this game versus the Packers. So Mauch continuing to get better and better. It was a work in progress when they drafted him, but you can see it through every game. This guy is getting better. And I think the Bucs might have found a guy that can start for them for years to come.
All right, you talk about Mauch's run blocking ability, and we're going to go with the running play here. This is going to be just a power concept. We're going to get double teams here, working up to the backside linebacker. We're going to get a block down here. We're going to get the guard pulling, kicking out the defensive end. The fullback's going to work here and lead on the play side linebacker. On the backside, we're just going to get an anchor down technique to kind of cut off the backside. Again, you can see the key block right here is going to be the right tackle and Mauch on this defensive tackle right here. They've got to get movement of this guy. I want you guys to watch Mauch and how much he stays with this defensive tackle. He bullies him off the screen. Let's check out the play. And there's a snap. You can see the double team. The part that's kind of weird is you guys see how Mauch like flashes up real quick. I wonder because it's sort of a delayed handoff right there, if he's a little slow trying to sell pass protection or something like this, or if he just didn't have the great get off there. I don't understand. It's kind of a weird deal there, but he responds, gets into him, gets a great punch by the right tackle there. Watch how he stays on 95 and blows him off the screen. You talk about winning football in terms of getting great movement. That's perfect. Great help from the tackle. Now you get on him and drive him off the field. Phenomenal from Cody Mauch. That's that power running, that just dirty, gritty football that we all like to see. That's awesome stuff up there. Again, that's a 330-pound, 320-pound defensive tackle whose mortgage payment depends on not getting moved, and he gets literally moved off the screen. Great work there from Cody Mauch. Now, some of the other guys didn't do a great job, namely the center here. This play gets kind of blown up for a loss, unfortunately, but not because of the rookie right guard. Great rep here from Cody Mauch. All right, we've got a 2-play sequence here for you guys to kind of highlight exactly why Baker Mayfield and this Bucs offense was so darn impressive against the Green Bay Packers defense. This is just going to be a simple inside kind of gap running scheme. We're going to get double team working up to linebacker there. We're going to get base blocks pretty much everywhere else. It's a downhill running scheme across the board. Running back's going to fit this way. It's going to be a pretty good run. Good job by Mauch. But watch what he does on this play, and then we'll go right into the next play to see what the effect of a great downhill run blocking does for this Bucs offense. You can see the snap. You can see this sort of double team action working up there with Mauch. He gets on the linebacker. Good power run, 6-7 yards down the field. Really nice job. You can see they brought the receiver in motion to get the defense think in motion. and they just hand it off downhill. Great run, great movement, right? Across the board, good job up front. Help on the double team, work up to the linebacker, drive him a few yards upfield. Nice rep. Now let's go into the next play here. Again, same drive. It was just a quarter change. So they switch going the other way. This is going to be a similar kind of look for the defense, right? You're going to get a man in motion here. It's actually fullback, so they're really keying run block situation here. Fullback, H-back, I should say, to be more accurate. And they're going to play action. Watch what these linebackers do for the Green Bay Packers when they see run. Look how far they get at the line of scrimmage. It opens up Godwin right behind it for an easy completion. When you can run downhill, as they did on the previous play, for a lot of success, teams are terrified of getting beat up, and it opens up play action. It's as old as football itself. When you can run the ball right out of defense, you do that a few times, you go play action, receivers are wide open. Again, let's go back to the very first play where you're hearing this two-play sequence here. Go all the way back, right? The linebacker, a little slower to react, right? He gets blown off the ball, gives up a 7 or 8 yard run. Now let's go back to this play. Here's the snap. They fly at line of scrimmage. Again, downhill run blocking allows you to win in the play action game. Baker Mayfield had a great day, but a lot of it was because the guys up front did well in the run blocking game and made it easy for him in the pass game.
When you talk about the pass game, talk about making it easy, Nick. Cody Mauch, great day today. This Bucs O-line has let the pass rushers through a couple of times this year, but Mauch only one time today. And Baker Mayfield is getting relatively low pressure this game as well. At some points in the season, he had up to 26 pressures in a game. This game, only 9 total pressures. As I said, Mauch only let up 1 pressure in this game. So this offensive line, a great game against a Packers defensive front, which is their strength. Not their secondary, not their linebackers, but their edge rushers and their D linemen have been the strength of this Packers team. So this is really the best part of this defense. And the Bucs O-line and Cody Mauch have done a phenomenal job at keeping Baker Mayfield clean.
All right, you talked about keeping Baker Mayfield clean. Once again, we got the Green Bay Packers. They've got their 4 down defensive linemen. See how wide they have their defensive tackles right there? You can see their defensive ends stand up right here on the outside of your screen. Again, the whole point here is to generate one-on-one matchups. As you can see, once again, the Buccaneers are going to slide their protection with the center away from Mauch right there, right guard. That means we're going to get one-on-one right here. This is Kenny Clark, a really solid defensive tackle for the Green Bay Packers, on rookie Cody Mauch. Let's see how Mauch does. All right, takes a step, misses with his hands, but look at his recovery. Mauch has phenomenal recovery gifts as a pass protector. See how his hands go outside? I don't know if I'd call that a miss. Maybe it's just not a good inside punch. You don't like to go with your hands outside at the beginning, but one of the things I really appreciate from Mauch is watch how he recovers with his hands. You see how he keeps fighting, get his hands inside and replace him, keeps his base wide, good solid base, keeps his butt low to the ground, stops the bull rush. This is great work. Because again, the Packers' whole scheme right here is saying, okay, Kenny Clark is either going to beat Mauch one-on-one, or he's going to push Mauch back into the quarterback, back into Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's not going to be able to step into a throw. But look at this protection. Look at this pocket. Oh my goodness gracious. This is absolutely beautiful. And again, they got their one-on-one matchup on a rookie. This is exactly what the Packers wanted to do. And Mauch stepped up and did a great job in protection here. Allows Baker Mayfield to deliver a dart down the field. Again, it all starts with protection, and here the Green Bay Packers thought they could break down the protection with this one-on-one matchup, but Cody Mauch's performance denied them that opportunity. All right, going back to the run game here. Here you can see the Packers, they've got their 4 defensive linemen right there. They've got 1 linebacker and 1 safety walked up into the box right there. They got a deeper safety right here. So again, kind of a light box you'd really like to be able to run in this situation right here. And this is a really well-designed play. It's just a basic kind of gap zone scheme. You're going to get a block out here from the left tackle. You're going to get the left guard's going to take this defensive tackle. Center's going to work up to the linebacker. You got Mauch one-on-one again in this situation. Now, normally in this situation, you'd have the tight end on the defensive end, the tackle up to the safety. But because that's kind of a mismatch, you don't want to tackle in space and you don't want to tight end on the defensive end. They actually switch up the responsibility. They have the tight end work up to the safety and they have the tackle work out to the defensive end. Great call up front between these two. But again, the key block right here, because this running play is designed to go right this direction, is going to be Mauch. He's got to get on his guy and get not only movement, but he's got to turn this guy out of the hole either direction. Let's check out how he does. All right, gets on him. Look at that turn. Oh, that's a great job up front. And look at this hole, folks. Gets through it. Really nice run. Again, it's a light box. You almost have to be able to run well in these situations. If you can't run the football in a light box, it's a really tough day offensively, right? At this point, Baker Mayfield has been killing the Packers defense. So they try and go a little lighter up front here to kind of give their DB some more help. The result, you got to run the football, and up front, they do a great job. They get bodies on bodies, center up to linebacker. They do this responsibility switch right there, tackle on defensive end, tight end up to safety. But again, it all depends on Mauch. Can you get this defensive lineman turned? If you can get him turned with a little bit of movement, it's a huge hole, and that's exactly what we get here from Cody Mauch. Phenomenal work, right? His pass protection, like you mentioned, was good against the Packers, but I think his run blocking, again, it's still kind of a work in progress. He's got a lot of things to clean up, but he's getting better and better.
And the Bucs were able to run block very well this game. Or both Rachaad White and Edmonds were able to run for well over 4 yards a carry. I think that's some pretty respectable numbers in the running back game nowadays. These guys were running the ball well. White, 89 yards. Edmonds had 13 yards but on only 3 carries. This was a strong rushing performance, strong passing performance as well. But like you said, a lot of the times it felt like they used the run to open up the pass. So this run blocking performance by this offensive line for the Bucs and Cody Mauch was very impressive versus, once again, a very strong Packers defensive front.
All right, time for one of my least favorite play designs because it's really hard on the offensive lineman, but if you can execute, it works really great. So what you're going to get is you're going to get the backside guard pulling and pass protecting this way, almost like it's a run, one-on-one this direction. Everybody else is working as far over as they possibly can. Again, remember, all these offensive linemen have to get the gap over. The real challenge here is that this center has to get moving because he's got to cover up this gap right here because this tackle's working out. So he's got to cover this grass. That means Mauch has to pick up this defensive lineman. Now, as you guys can see on the screen, if this center goes away this way, that's a straight shot right there for the on the quarterback for that defensive lineman, which means Mauch has to get running to give his quarterback a good seal to work this direction to hopefully find a receiver down the field. It's a great play. It's got a lot of funny motion. This receiver is going to come this way before backing out this way. It's a great design. It confused the defense, created an open receiver. But again, it all starts with protection. Let's see how Mauch does. He gets on him, drives him, works him upfield, allows Maker to hit the running back, Rachaad White, touchdown. This is, again, a beautiful play design. I love it, right? You have all this motion up here. You got a slot receiver right here. You got the guard pulling, and what do? You just leak the running back in kind of a pseudo wheel route. Great design, but again, you have to have protection. And it starts with Mauch working over there and giving his quarterback a chance. Again, this is not an easy block right here because you can't get too deep because if you get too deep to cut him off, you're literally going to run right into the quarterback's lap. But you can't get too flat because otherwise 93 will run himself into the quarterback's lap. So you have to take a good angle and you have to keep working and driving, which is exactly what Mauch did here. Allows Baker to hit Rachaad White. Bucs touchdown, right? Obviously, Mayfield had a great day, but again, it all starts with the protection. It all starts with the play design. Great job up front by this Buccaneers offensive line in a tough situation, and a great job Cody Mauch giving Baker Mayfield a chance. All right, going with another pass protection here from this Buccaneers offensive line. So the Packers defense, they're just doing some weird stuff up front to try and stop Baker Mayfield and this Bucs offense. At this point, it's just getting kind of ridiculous. You can see they've basically kind of gapped over the entire defense. You can see all these defensive linemen over here. You can see the middle linebackers right here. Obviously, the Buccaneers are an empty. They got no running backs. Right on the edge of your screen, maybe outside of your screen, they got another defensive end outside linebacker walked up there. So again, you can see literally the entire defense is literally outside to the Buccaneers offensive left this way. So that means the Buccaneers are going to slide their protection across the board, everybody this direction. But what the Packers do is kind of interesting. They actually then run a stunt. So they have this guy work this way and then him come around here. The whole theory is if this tackle's sliding to take here and Mauch works inside this way, there'll be a lot of space for him to get in the quarterback's face. But let's watch Cody Mauch. Again, he slides the protection, but he still does a good job picking up the stunt, results in a big-time play for the Bucs offense. Let's check it out. Right, you can see right there, the Buccaneers are sliding their protection to the right side of your screen. The offense is left. You can see 97, then loop around right there. Mauch picks him up. Big play down the field. Again, the whole premise of this defensive scheme for the Packers is to get everyone going to the left and then having a guy, in this case, Kenny Clark, number 97, coming around to get pressure on Baker Mayfield. Watch what happens. Mauch does a great job, picks him up. Look at this beautiful pocket, folks. This is outstanding work from the Buccaneers offensive line. When you have protection like this, you can have perfect passer ratings in Lambeau Field. And that's exactly what Baker Mayfield did against the Green Bay Packers on the road. This is great stuff up front, again, against a very feisty front from the Green Bay Packers. Now, look, I think the Packers secondary is awful. So, again, it's not like the Packers have a great defense overall, but up front, they're pretty feisty. And Mauch and the rest of these four guys up front had a great day against this Packers defense. They communicated, they executed, they fought, but they were also smart and savvy and good and did a good job, like Mauch did here, picking up this stunt here from the Green Bay Packers. Mayfield had a great day. Rashad White had a great day. Evans was spectacular as well. But like I've been saying this entire video, it all starts up front. It all starts up front with guys like Cody Mauch just doing their jobs and doing them well.
And Nick, I want to reiterate how clean the pockets were and how good this offense was because they came in with a game plan. We're going to throw the ball 30 times. We're going to attack the Packers through the air. They threw for almost 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. We know that. But this pocket was unbelievably clean all game. Baker Mayfield did not have to scramble one time all game. His only 2 rushing attempts, the 2 kneel downs at the end of the game. He was able to sit in this pocket all day, sling it around the field. As you said, perfect passer rating, almost 400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. This was an unbelievable game for Mayfield because of the pockets that he was able to sit in all day long. Did not have to really scramble, did not have to make any plays with his legs. They were able to do exactly what the game plan was, and I think this is extremely impressive for Mauch and this O-line.
All right, let's go back to the running game here. So this is a play that pretty much every team in the NFL runs just out of different formations. I love it when the Buccaneers run it out of shotgun. So this is going to be an inside zone concept. They're going to get the left tackle working out here, left guard working up to that defensive lineman, center working up to that linebacker. They're going to get the right tackle working up to that linebacker. They're going to take the tight end right here. He's going to come across the formation and kick out the end man on the line of scrimmage. They're going to get the running back taking this path and then get north and south, most likely right at the hash. Now you can see the key block is going to be once again Mauch right there at right guard on this defensive tackle. This whole premise of this scheme is to get everybody moving this way on a defense, get a body on a body and get them moving that direction and have this tight end block out this way. So you get everyone moving this way and then create a seal here. It creates a natural cutback for the running back. But again, it all falls on Cody Mauch right here doing a good job getting movement this direction. Let's see how he does. All right, there's a snap. You can see the tight end coming across the formation. You can see all the guys up front working to their left. Again, let's focus on Cody Mauch. Again, this is Kenny Clark. This is a veteran defensive tackle. He knows what's coming. There's no surprise here. This is a brutally tough block to execute against a veteran guy. Watch Mauch get on him and keep working and turn him and just really kind of drive him and get great movement there. That's really good stuff right here from Cody Mauch. Because here's the thing people don't understand. When a defensive lineman's in run defending mode like this, and he gets like a low base and gets low to the ground, it's hard as all get out to get any sort of movement. Usually what happens, you end up with a stalemate right here at the point of attack. But what Mauch does, Mauch actually gets him turned and drives him 2 yards inside. And you can see how it opens up the hole for Rashad White. Because you see up front, the end man on the line of scrimmage here for the Green Bay Packers, he's trying to compress the hole. And if you look at this from the beginning, let's say Mauch doesn't get movement, and that's he's stalemated right at the hash, right? Right here, if Mauch is right here at the hash, this play is blown up for no gain. But because Mauch got great movement inside, On was able to kick out 6-7 yard run right up the heart of the defense. Again, it all goes back to blocking up front. The skill players for the Bucs had a great day, but up front, the guys had a phenomenal job, and Mauch is no exception. Wasn't a perfect day from Cody Mauch by any means, but when it really counted, he stepped up big time. All right, you can see the Green Bay Packers have everybody near the line of scrimmage right here. Again, you can see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a lot of bodies at the line of scrimmage This is just going to be man-on-man blocking here, mano-a-mano across the board. Everyone gets a gap in front of them kind of deal. So you get gaps this way, blocks this way, blocks this way. You're going to get blocks this way. You're going to block this way, inserting that way, block this way. Again, the whole point is just to get bodies on bodies. The key block here is going to be this double team right here on the nose guard and right here from Cody Mauch. He's got to kind of slow play it to make sure this defensive lineman doesn't cross his face. And then he's got to work up to this linebacker while also making sure this defensive tackle doesn't cross his face as well. Let's watch Mauch. Again, it takes a lot of patience because a lot of young guys, they like to go right into blocks or check right that direction, and sometimes his linebacker can fill. Mauch does a great job slow playing it, providing help, then getting on the guy, opening up a nice hole for the running back to run behind. Let's check out how the Buccaneers clinched their biggest win of the season. All right, right there, you can see Mauch right there is slow playing it. You can see the bodies on bodies across the board. He gets on 59, drives him out of the hole. Rashad Wright gets the first down and more. Again, slides down, gives himself up. Smart play. It's winning football, guys. Bodies on bodies, you execute. Right across the board, great job. You can see this kind of muddle inside right here, but that's okay in the short yardage situation. If the tight ends and receivers inserting, if they just create kind of a big mass of humanity, that means you have to run it up inside. Right tackle does a solid job there with Mauch giving him some help. Center does a good job. But again, Mauch drives this guy out of the hole, opens up the seam. Rashad Wright does a phenomenal job hitting the hole, gets the first down. Again, this linebacker, he sees right here, this hole. Once he sees the center go left, Mauch go right, he knows he's got to fill as hard and aggressive as possible because he knows his running back's probably going to be cutting that direction. Mauch denies him that opportunity, blows him out of the way, ends up being a game-clinching run for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And Nick, I think this is really important that Mauch, he's able to do something that a lot of young guys aren't able to do, especially coming from a smaller college, and that is in those big moments, you don't want to blow it. You don't want to cost your team a costly penalty, get yourself back to where you can't get the first down, to where you can't just finish the game. And Mauch did a great job. No penalties this game, limited penalties all year. I think he's only had 4 penalties called on him all year, and I think never more than 1 per game, never one since week 8. But I think this was a big thing for Mauch, as he's really cleaned up his game from the beginning of the season. No negative plays, and that is why this team's able to close the game out, because they're able to execute cleanly, and Mauch and this O-line, really not a whole lot of penalties called in this game. So I think that's something we can also just, another badge of honor for Mauch for this game. No penalties, clean game of football.